Get ready to melt with the coolest talk show. Jason's here and he's ready to go. From the Nova Circuit where the gamers play. Tune in now, it's the Melty way. Melty talks, so we're breaking the mold. Jason's got the stories that you gotta behold. From Twitch's Nova Light to the mic tonight. It's Melty Talks, yeah, we're feeling alright. Gaming tales and inside scoops. We're diving deep, no time to snooze. Nova vibes on a silver plate. Melty Talks, where the chatter's great. Melty Talks, so the time is prime. Jason's here, yeah, it's interview time. Stay right there, don't you go away. Melty Talks is here to slay. Melty Talks, so the time is prime. Jason's here, yeah, it's interview time. Stay right there, don't you go away. Melty Talks is here to slay.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Melty Talks on this beautiful Saturday evening, more or less. I'm joined here with the fantastic, the beautiful, the amazing Jason from Nova Circuit. Hey, buddy, welcome in.
How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for actually having me a guest on your podcast. I've had you as a guest at ours, 3 times already?
3 times.
Yeah, the only one. The only one that's been on there 3 times, by the way.
I'm a repeat
Yeah.
podcaster. People love to see me.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. It feels good to be in your realm. So
Yes.
different over here.
It's very different, very much. So to announce a couple things before we get started with the actual podcast, I don't know what happened the last podcast. We didn't get the video. We only got the audio, so apologies for that. Hopefully this time we're gonna have the video that we can upload to YouTube. We're gonna have a Melty jingle to go with it. Thank you to ChatGPT for that. And every artwork that I've done, I've went through ChatGPT to kind of mold it into something else. And we're going to have an amazing little stock photo for the podcast itself and on YouTube. So get that out the way. Jason, man, what's life been like? What's been up?
Oh, just running my business as you, like you. Nothing much, man. Just being a father the best I can be, still kicking it at Nova Circuit. We're still doing well there. We're starting to push our YouTube presence a little bit harder, TikTok as well, maybe a little bit of Instagram, trying to broaden our horizons and stuff like that. So we've kind of made those our goals this year. It's pretty much what I've been doing, just being the boss and all that good stuff. But pretty much same life, just being a nerdy gamer and trying to make it on the internet.
So what year did you start Nova Circuit? And you're going to hear a lot of repeat questions from whenever I was on
No, it's
your
fine.
podcast. It's just want my listeners and my watchers to get to know you a little better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Nova Circuit itself, the name, came to be in 2013. Me and the original partner of mine, Chris, who is a streamer right now. You guys might know. His name is Crispy. He's in our Discord. He was my original partner. One day we were at a Chili's. No, yes, a Chili's. Absolutely. And we were sitting there, and we at this time I was going through relationship stuff, nothing too crazy, but at the time a company that I really looked up to called Rooster Teeth was hiring.
Rooster Teeth.
Yes, so they were hiring, so I applied for a position, didn't get it. So in my mind I was like, why why not just create my own? Why don't
Hmm.
I just make my own presence on the internet? So, me and Chris were at this Chili's, and we were like, well, we need to come up with a name. So we were just like, it's got to be something no one's gonna use. Blah blah. We were obviously had our phones googling while I was eating my dry rub ribs, and finally we were just like, first word Nova. It was just like, okay, cool. So we're there, and we were just like, well, we can't do Nova Core. Marvel owns that right. And then finally he was just like, well, let's do like Nova Circuit or something. I was like, okay, with that, we'll see if that catches on.
Hmm.
So eventually, after eating several plates of food and stuff, we came up with the name Nova Circuit, branded it, and then several years, like not even several years, it was more of a planning. Like we couldn't just up and start. We had to think of what we wanted to do as Nova Circuit. And obviously I was like, I want to be like Rooster Teeth. We need to do podcasts. I want to do video game let's plays. Um, Stuff like that. So we did. We went full dive into it. Kind of looked at what we need. We bought capture cards for multiple people because we would have guests. We wanted to do a video game talk show, kind of like X Play, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which was on G4. That just shows how old I am. The original G4, not the Twitch G4. Um, and then came down the road and brought more friends in. Tyrone, who's Amaziromu on Twitch, who's a friend of ours, brought him in. Brought in some other people. Kind of started just recording stuff. So if you actually go onto our YouTube channel, you can actually see the original stuff, the first videos, just random clips, stuff like that. GTA, just of a group of friends that I brought in. We all understood no one was being paid at the time because we didn't get monetized yet, but yeah, and I think our first videos came out in like 2014, 2015. So
Wow.
I'd have to look. And it was just slow pace, trying to see if things would catch on. Um, yeah, but then eventually Twitch was a thing. So Twitch started getting big. So I was one time I was just like, well, I want to try a presence on Twitch. So I think in 2015, at that time, I started getting into Pokemon, playing Pokemon competitively. I still play
Hmm.
competitively.
Yes.
Um, we were just like, let's start streaming, and let's broaden what we want to do with Nova Circuit, because at the time we were just doing let's plays and podcasts. So I was
Hmm.
like, let's kind of broaden what we're doing, and let's start doing Pokemon content. Like, have like, because I really loved the game at the time. I was like, I'll start doing box openings. I was really watching like Jay Witz and his wife Renee collects do stuff. I was like, I want to do that stuff as well. Make it like a thing. I mean, we're about pop culture and nerdy stuff anyway. So, me and my wife at the time, she was my girlfriend, but we just met and she was all for it as well. So we started buying Pokemon product, opening in it. And then I was like, I'm gonna go on Twitch and start playing Pokemon. First couple of streams just playing Pokemon. Obviously, when you start on Twitch, no one's really coming in there. But now I was like, well, what am I gonna do that nobody else is doing? There's so many other content creators on Twitch playing Pokemon that are probably way better than me that people want to watch. So I was just like, I'm gonna give away these code cards that I don't need. So
Hmm.
I started doing those code card giveaway streams, and that was what we did daily. And that's how we actually started getting popular, and we started drawing in attention. We were doing this, and people were coming in for the code cards and stuff. And after that, we started making a name in the Pokemon community. So the Pokemon community actually knew who Nova Circuit was. We brought in more members. We started sponsoring players, and yeah, and then it kind of took off from there. And then Paladins helped us. We
Oh,
got a huge
Paladin.
Paladins really
Love
took
watching y'all
off
play
for us.
that.
Yeah, RIP that game, but
Yeah.
yeah.
They shut down the service for it, right?
They shut down any updates. Servers are going to be up until obviously nobody else is playing, but they're no
Yeah.
longer supporting the game, all that good stuff. So,
So.
um, yeah, but that's how we started. Just and then this is the journey we're on now. So,
Hmm.
still being trying to be innovative, still trying to new things. We're still, yeah, we've been around for over 10 years, like the name itself, but it's still a young business, and we still are trying to thrive and find out what's clicking and what people like to see. So, yeah, we're still doing it.
And for everybody that wants to know, it's basically Nova underscore circuit on all platforms, YouTube and Twitch. I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight on Mr. Jason here and my creation, Melty.
Yeah.
So starting out with Melty with very, very slow beginnings.
Oh, I was
Um,
there in the beginning.
you were,
I
and
was. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Haha.
where I'm getting at in this story. Jason invited me to his Discord, which, if you want, at the end of this podcast, I always put a description of everybody's Discord. I could put your, you know, Discord in there so anyone that listens can join and be part of your amazing community. So I came up with the idea and was just going around thinking, that I want to sponsor streamers. I want to be able to do this, full time all the time, and I want to be able to support, my friends. Jason here and the whole team at Nova Circuit believed in my vision so much that they agreed to, kind of take Melty in, put him on their stream as a, official sponsorship. Um, Jason believed in me when it came to that. He still does to this day. We talk
Yep.
about Melty all the time. There is certain photos that I've drawn over their emotes on Twitch with Melty devouring. Um, you're gonna hear my kids in the background. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Until I get an official studio, it's just how it is. Um, so I want to thank you as a big thank you to supporting Melty and everything,
Well,
and putting him
absolutely.
on your stream and everything and all that. And yeah, he's had me on his podcast 3 times. First
Only
time
one.
it was the only one. First time it was to talk about my Twitch, obviously. Second time was just to hang out and talk and have some fun, have some laughs and everything. And then the third time was talking about man in the background right here. So
Yep.
uh, it's just an amazing honor to be your friend. I've
Oh,
known
absolutely.
you for a couple years now. Uh, like I said, guys, y'all need to follow his Twitch, his YouTube, join their Discord. They are an amazing group of people that they never miss a chat. I can say that.
Yeah, we
They
try
never
our
miss a
best.
chat.
Sometimes those Pokemon streams get well. It's because it's really weird too. So, like I said, we're trying to build a bigger YouTube presence now. So we're starting to
Hmm.
live stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And sometimes Streamlabs is what we use as our streaming platform. The multi-stream chat doesn't work, so I actually have my monitor up here that shows both, and I feel so bad. But there's times where I've missed people on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that's just not what we're about. So trying to get better at that. But yeah, no, the goal is to spark the conversation with the users. Like, I mean, it's going to be harder. Say we become bigger, and there's tens of thousands of people watching. It's going to be hard, and that's why streamers kind of do the slow chat so they can kind of catch
Yep.
up. Um, and that's going to be our goal. You come here to interact with us. You at least deserve us to interact back at you. And I
Hmm.
always felt like that. You want to be, people join to be a part of the conversation. So you do your best just to involve them in the conversation. And we've always kind of like done our best to do that. So,
And I'll tell you, like, you give Jason an idea, he runs with it. It's just something that's awesome.
mhm.
I kind of felt a little selfish anytime I'd come into your chat, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna be on his podcast soon." Blah blah blah. Share your link, and I'm just like, I don't wanna.
Yeah, people feel weird because we're not like shouting them out, but we don't have a shout out feature for like Spotify podcasts. So we
Hmm.
usually just ask them, especially well, we were just part of that creators cook-off tournament where we were playing against other content creators in a Pokemon
Hmm.
tournament. And a lot of them were just on YouTube. And I was like, ooh, we don't have a shout out feature for the YouTube channels. So I was just like, hey, if you came into my chat, just post your link. It's not being selfish. We're asking you to do it.
Yeah,
When me and you first met, because you kind of had the same goals, and that's what I think helped me and you just get along so well immediately. It was just like, we just want to, it's all about supporting others. Like it's being almost at times too unselfish, where we're
hmm,
just like, we put others before ourselves, especially during live streams. We're just
hmm,
like, hey, oh, let me stop. And we do like our creator reviews when like a new creator comes in our chat. We're like, we're going to review your channel, chat,
yep,
give them a grade. And a lot of people, if it ever like crosses someone's boundaries, we're fine with them letting us know, but we're trying to spotlight you. That's our
hmm,
goal. And say you become bigger than us, we're not going to care. We're there to just support. Listen, you got to start somewhere, and we always want to, even if we never become big, but you do, we at least can say, hey, we were there in the beginning trying to do something.
yeah. You're
Um,
shouting everybody out, and that's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. It's
And
it's just we're all trying to support each other. We're all one big Twitch or content creating family.
yep,
And it's hard for me to hate anybody, so it's just like, I'm gonna do my best to support you the best I can. I'm gonna treat, if you're a friend of mine, I'm gonna treat you like my friend. Um,
exactly.
and that's how it's always been. Like I said, we don't call our followers or subscribers. We call you the cool kids, but we don't call them followers or subscribers. We call them friends. We're like, hey, what's up? How you
Exactly.
doing, friend? I'm not labeling you as one of those. You are literally a friend that comes here, hangs out, watches us play games badly, and and chill.
Me,
And
anytime I'm on COD.
so yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier when we were messaging each other. So last night I was playing, not on stream, just playing, and my son was sitting behind me. And I think my son was getting frustrated too because a couple times, like 2 straight games, I lost to some kids just camping in a building, and I was like. Oh, I hate campers. And my son's like, the campers are annoying, Dad. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And I was getting really like angry. I'm just like, squeezing my controller. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, play the game. I was like, move.
Just move a
So
little bit, jump around.
yeah, I was like, come on, man. So it was, I was getting really frustrated. But I'm not like, I've told you, when you come to our streams, you're not coming to watch high octane, top tier gameplay. You're coming to watch a mediocre middle aged guy struggle. So, it's so I know my place. Now in Halo, there's a different thing because I used to play Halo competitively. I still got it a little bit, but other games, I'm just like, listen, you're not gonna get good gameplay out of me. Just so you know, clip. There's no highlights. There's only ESPN not top tens clips on our streams. So
I
yeah.
say I say the same thing, but kind of to piggyback off of what you did. Like Halo for you was Overwatch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played Overwatch 1, I played Overwatch 2, and I played it competitively. Uh, top 50 Tracer, top 500 Diva,
Shoo.
and then uh, Overwatch 2 came out, nerfed everybody, so I just, went to Diva and stayed on Diva. And then now I play Marvel Rivals competitively because it's like Overwatch and
Mm-hmm.
it's fun.
It's a
It's
very
a
good game too.
breath of fresh air, I can tell you that.
It makes me
And
not miss Paladins as much. Like I know Paladins is dead, but I was like, Marvel Rivals is kind of taking that place. So
hmm
I get that same enjoyment. Yeah, absolutely great game.
but like if I'm streaming, let's say Dark Souls or Hollow Knight or just some single player game that's known. It's hard for being hard. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to see top tier gameplay from me. You're not going to see me killing every boss. You're not going to see me killing every enemy. I die a lot in From Software games. And my last Dark Souls stream, I had like 40 deaths. It was
Oh,
bad. It was bad. And
those are good numbers in my opinion. So
I would spawn and then there was this, hey, you two, my
ground them,
dogs, and they just spilt water everywhere. That's great.
ground them.
Dog owner right here. There was a moment where I resurrected at the bonfire. I walked out and immediately got pelted with fire, and this instantly died. And I was on the stream. You could just see my face turn white to red. Like no amount of shade could have hidden that red in my face. And I just wanted to scream, but my kids were asleep, so I'm just like, I didn't even get to breathe outside.
Yeah, I try my best not to get mad at video games. I know for sure Halo rages me. If you come to some of the Halo streams, people have caught me just. So I think I've invented curse words because of
hmm
Halo. So yeah, I understand. I'm a bad Souls game player. I'm so bad that the spawn bonfire, I die from that fire. I'm so bad at the game. So I realized I was bad at Soul games when I was in high school and Dark Souls 2 came out. And my brother got it. And I was like, I'm going to try this. I like this little adventure game. Had no idea how hard it was. I go in there, couldn't even get past the first boss. I was so mad. I was like, who makes a game that you can't even pass the tutorial? You beat the tutorial boss. I was like, this is a bad game. No one's ever gonna want to play this. Find out everybody loves Soul games.
Everybody
And
loves
I was
soul
just
games.
yeah. And then I'm just like, I just am a bad Souls player. Like Elden
I
Ring
think
trash. So
I think you just chose to start off with the worst Dark Souls in the trilogy because Dark Souls 2 is known for being the most difficult Dark Souls game
yeah,
because there's too
obviously.
many enemies, there's less bonfires, and I think you just started off with the wrong one. I think you need to start off with Demon Souls. Demon Souls was a good one. The remake
Yeah,
is even harder. So,
Bloodborne was good. I did like
uh,
that one.
let me show you. You know how you have the little collectible redeem?
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Oh yeah, nice.
This is you can't see it because the picture in the background, but
No, I see it
this is
now.
my hunter collectible that I've had for years.
That's awesome,
I don't
man.
I don't know if you remember this chatter. Bulgard, you remember Bulgard, right?
I remember her. Yeah, yeah.
She's the one that bought me that for my birthday.
Oh heck yeah! I hope she's doing well.
Oh,
Oh
she's
yeah,
doing
she
fantastic.
was
She
there in
was
the
in my stream
beginning
last night.
too. Oh nice.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. I remember when she streamed too. Oh yeah.
And yeah, she called me on my birthday. She was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm really into Bloodborne, and I was working in
Heck yeah.
Tennessee at the time, but she only knew my home address, so she sent it to my house. And my wife called me and said, "Look what you got in the mail." And I was like,
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
very
awesome.
excited.
Yeah, Bogart's awesome.
So you've been streaming for a lot of years.
Hmm.
You have all these social medias. You have, this business model from CEO to CEO. What is the worst thing about running a business to you?
Finances, budgets, especially when the revenue comes in, doing all that, and I have a
Hmm.
team that have requests and things that they want. A lot of our budget goes into the code card giveaways now, stuff like that, or if like updates for games. But I hate finances. I hate crunching numbers. I hate going over analytics. I hope we become big enough where I can just make someone do that all for me.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's I also don't like having the harder conversations with my team because it
Hmm.
is weird. Like we're a small company and we generate a little bit, but we don't generate a lot. But when I have to like get on to them about something, I'm just like these people are not only like working for me, but they're my friends too. So it's weird that I got to put on a boss hat in front of them.
Yep.
I guess that's why you don't like mix work with my friends. I guess, but like some of them are really receptive to it, and they receive it well. They don't know my listen. They've gotten on to me about some things too, and I took it as positives, and I hope like leading by example showed them that. But having those tough conversations, I don't like either. It's all just part of leadership though. So,
Yeah.
um, but those things have been fine, and then always feeling like whenever every year at the end of the year we do our end of year and then we do our end beginning of year talk meeting, and we talk
Yeah.
about what was successful for us in the past year, what we want to do. Um, and I always feel like when we're not able to try to hit goals or we're not putting things that we had, what we call our whiteboard projects,
Hmm.
when we aren't able to like green light any of those, I feel like on my end it's me failing them. But that's I get that's the part. It's your company. When people look at Nova Circuit, I'm the head of the company, so it's my face that would get the grunt of everything. So I kind of just I don't like that, but other than that, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, we were all like me and the guys that I have on my podcast. We were outside, and we were talking, and that we were talking about like if Melty ever went somewhere, or if we ever just were blessed enough to receive the funds for Melty and actually go somewhere. And I'm talking to my friends, and I was like, "Holy crap! I'm your guys' boss.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to. I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna have to pay you." And they're like, "Yeah, dude, you're gonna have to pay." I was like, "You know what? I hope we make just enough money. I'm gonna hire a guy to do that." He's
yep.
like, "You're
I
gonna
hope
hire
so.
a dude to pay us. You know you gotta pay him." I was like, "Yeah, I gotta pay him. Singular. I don't have to pay you assholes."
Right. Oh
He's gonna
yeah.
do it for me. And everyone has. That's why one reason I love you guys is y'all have a vision, and y'all are working so hard to like get your vision out there to everybody. You support other streamers. You're not just about the money like most Twitch
Yep.
streamers are nowadays,
Yep. We're
you
we're here
don't
having
ignore your
fun.
yeah, you're having fun. You don't ignore your chatters. Anytime someone even if it's like a follow, it's not someone sending money that's uh, can y'all stop, please?
Ground them. Ground the both
You
dogs.
you are grounded, both of you. You're going into your crates. Okay.
Perfect.
Anyways, whether it's like a follow or it doesn't even have to be a gift someone's sending or like whatever, like TikTok or whatever. You guys just are over the moon with thankfulness. Y'all thank them, y'all talk to them, y'all shout them out. You could just say hey in their chat, guys, and immediate shout out right there. Boom. Like I didn't
Yep.
eat. I just came in one morning. I was on my way to work. And I saw Nova Circuit was live, so I was like, hey, that's all I said was hey. And then all of a sudden I see Senpai's TV. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so thanks for the shout out.
Oh yeah. That's funny. So when I go live, Mags is the producer behind the scenes. So
Hmm.
she runs a lot of that stuff. So during my streams, so she'll be in the background making sure shout outs go through, making sure that if I miss chats, she points it out to me. So yeah, it's a good team effort for that. So
Mags,
yeah.
Mags didn't because I didn't tell anybody I renamed my Twitch.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so like I just got tired of the underscore having to say underscore this, underscore that. So I was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
name it Senpai's TV. It's very very simple. It's not. It's actually you come here to watch variety. That's what for me it gives off.
Hmm.
You never know what you're gonna get on the Twitch. So, anyways, I went to Mag's stream the other night, and she was like, "Hey, are you a first time chatter? I don't recognize you." And I was like, "It's Senpai Melty, remember?" And she was like, "Oh, hi! I didn't know you changed your name."
It's funny because Mags will admit it. She says it blows her mind that sometimes when chatters come into the chat, I remember them like really well. I
Hmm.
have a really good memory on that. And she's like, and I'll like talk about like when we first met, stuff like that. And she's like, that's crazy how you remember these people when they come in if they change their names. She's like, and she'll admit it. She's like, I'm bad at it, and I'm like, it's okay. It's like the people will let you know they understand. Yeah, she always feels bad about that too. I was like, it's no problem. Like to calm down. So, but yeah, no, it's yeah. We recognize when other streamers come in, and we quickly make sure that they get recognized. And then whenever I do go off the starting stream screen, I make sure to like mention it, like, hey, what's going on? How's the business going? Make sure you guys go check
Hmm.
them out. And sometimes if your shout out is so far up the chat, I make sure to just say, hey, shout them out again. So a fresh link is there.
Yep.
Um, it's good. And even
And
back to what you were talking about, like us doing it, like yeah, when we talked about when me and Mags actually talked about because Nova Circuit stopped for a while, kind of like how Melty stopped, because I had a new job and I didn't couldn't I had to change lifestyle pretty much. It was a third shift thing,
yeah,
so I didn't know what to do. But luckily the job had a lot of downtime. So one night, literally Halo, I was playing Halo. And my boss, hearing me say my made up curse words and yelling in the office, because we were allowed to video game at work. Um,
that's fun.
so I was playing Halo and in my cubicle just chilling, and then my boss goes, "You should record this." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, because you're making me laugh." He's like, "This is pretty funny stuff." So at the time, I was like, "I'm gonna bring in my own YouTube channel." None of you guys really know about my personal YouTube channel. I don't post on it anymore, but it's called NC for Nova Circuit underscore J McKinney.
Hmm.
Um, and I was starting to post stuff there. And then Mags, I was playing a lot of games with Mags. I was like, well, we're playing a team effort. I feel like I'm stealing Mags' glory because Mags has had some funny clips in the videos, and so did my boss because he started playing with us. So then that's when we were just like, let's bring back Nova Circuit. I was like, I'm gonna bring back Nova Circuit, start posting there again. Made the announcement, and that's when we started kicking back up again. But
Hmm.
in the end, I was just like, I even told them, I was like, we're not good. Let's not worry about being rich or anything. Let's worry about just the fun of it, the journey. Because in the end, if you're looking to get rich, you're going to look back on these moments and consider it a failure. You want to look
Hmm.
at the good times you had. So that's always been our thing. And I think me, I don't care too much about the money part of it. I kind of want the fame part of it. I want people to just recognize me
Yeah.
because I got a dose of that for the first time at the two past Pokemon regional events that I went to. Wearing the Nova Circuit team jersey, which I do have here. We do sponsor esports and we do have our own team.
Ooh.
So you got we got our team. So it was cool to see people come up and go, "Oh, Jason, how you doing?" And then I got the sign. People were asking for my autograph. A Twitch streamer that only has like not even 2K followers was getting asked for autographs, and it felt so good to take pictures and sign someone's playmat. And I was like, this is what I want to do it for. I was like, I don't care. Everybody else get paid. I just want I just want people to be like, hey, you're Jason from Nova Circuit. And
Yeah.
having that the last two regional events was kind of like I think those made my day the whole day. I didn't care if I was winning or losing after that. I was like, dude, someone came up to me and was just like, oh my god. And that's I think what I love about it is someone wanting to do that.
And see,
And
I
also
I
the
kind of
heartfelt messages from people. We do get heartfelt
yes.
messages from people in Discord saying, hey, your streams made my day better. We've had a couple of those, and I'm eventually gonna take those and put. Keanu will disappear sadly, but there's gonna be like
No,
stuff
not
from chat
Keanu.
and stuff. Yeah, he blesses us on the background, so.
And I feel sort of the same way. Not really with Twitch. Twitch is more right now. Twitch for me is more of a hobby.
Hmm.
I kind of slowed down on streaming to kind of work on Melty a lot more. Uh, I don't know if you know the full scope of why I stopped working on Melty is, well, I had a new job, kind of like you. You had a new job, but I was working out of state, wasn't ever home. Uh, really the hours were just very complex. So, like one day I can get off at 2, and the other day I don't get off till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there was a time we worked until 12:30 at night, from 6 a.m. in the morning to 12 o'clock at night because we just needed to get the job done.
Yep.
Well, I was like, yeah, I can't work on Melty. I can't, do what I was doing before this job. So I decided to take a break on it. Well, when we decided to, when I got home, it was a couple weeks after I got home. I was like, man, I really miss doing the podcast. I really like because we used to have fun. I did
Hmm.
go through a revamp. I've deleted almost every episode from back then to kind of get it more of a revamp on the podcast to kind of show a newer version, trying to get us to sound professional, look professional, and do this as something we want to do in the near future. Uh, I have two people, well, podcasts that inspired me. First, you.
Hmm.
Hang on, Dino. You inspired me to do podcasts. And then
Nice.
there's this other podcast. It's very famous. They have two guys that are very famous. It's called Bad Friends.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Bobby Lee and
Bobby
Andrew.
Lee. Yep. And Andrew. Yep.
Uh,
There's.
they inspired me to do it again because they just had so much fun. They were laughing, and you know, when everybody would ask me, they were like, "What's the topic's going to be about?" And I was like, "That's one thing that we really focused on when we first started, and it was, oh, today we're going to talk about this. Today we're going to talk about that." I was like, "No more of that. No more of topics. No more of anything. Let's just get on the pot and just talk."
Yep.
Have conversations, tell funny stories. And if there's something like the Nintendo Switch 2 event, which we're going to cover in another podcast next week, uh, that's going to be one of the topics. I was like, it doesn't have to be a topic driven podcast. If you think about it, most podcasts today, like your podcast, my podcast, Bad Friends, they don't ever have like certain topics. And if they do, it's like 5 minutes, 5 minute intervals.
Yeah.
They'll talk about something for about 5 minutes and then switch to something else, and that just keeps the people there because if, say you were to, okay, I want to listen to the Overwatch podcast, and you're like, okay, I've heard enough about Overwatch already, and like I'm
Yep.
tired of hearing about it, and that's all we talk about throughout the whole entire podcast. You don't really, you're not going to stay for the whole podcast. You're only going to stay until you get bored, and
Correct.
I want to keep everybody listening. And to about you saying you want kind of like the fame and stuff, I'm a little bit like that too. No, I haven't signed an autograph yet. Well, actually, I have, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Uh, I told you I was at a festival yesterday, and we're
Hmm.
going to be going back today with my mom and stuff. Uh, there's people that I don't even talk to on a daily basis coming up to me. How's the business doing, man? How's Melty? How's Melty doing? When can I get a shirt? When can I do this? When can I? I was like, I, I, I hope this is strangers next time, you know?
Right. Oh yeah. It was
And
cool because when that happens, like especially who they tell you who they are, like, "Hey, I'm this person in your chat." Like the one I remember was Score Bunny. He's like, "It's me, Score Bunny in chat." I was like, "That's awesome, man." I was like, "Heck yeah!" It is cool. It's and telling you it's one of the best feelings, especially when they come up to you and you're just like, "Wow," because it's a new experience. And I think that's what I enjoyed more was someone was able to do that. Uh,
And I think we're long overdue, me and you, not seeing each other in person. I've been on
oh,
three
absolutely.
podcasts. I've been on
Well, even
three
having you in voice
podcasts,
comms
voice
in
comms in
general.
your
Yeah.
games. We've played Halo together. We've played Sea of Thieves together. Which, by the way, everyone that's listening, or if this, I'm not promising anything. If we can get the video for this and upload it to YouTube, if you're watching, check out their Sea of Thieves streams. Those are the most hilarious streams ever. I distinctly remember he's on the boat and he's just like popping the gun up and down like this, doing the Jack Sparrow thing, dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun, dun, dun. And he's
We
just having. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we talk about it all the time. How like it's crazy that if those Sea of Thieves videos we have, we think are our funniest videos. It's
I
funny that you bring those up. We literally think those are our best videos.
I
And
love them.
we were like, if they gain traction, there's so many good one-liners and hits in those videos, and just stupidity because we're not good pirates. Um, and it's just like, oh man, I loved our Sea of Thieves. It's so cool that you like brought those up because yeah, we we love our Sea of Thieves videos, man. Those are my favorite ones that we did because they do make. I don't like watching my own content. You know,
Hmm.
whenever you watch your own stuff, you kind of cringe. You're just like, why am I doing this? I can't even watch my
I
own
hate the sound of my
streams.
voice.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the ones I actually go back and watch and go, damn, we were funny. Like
Yeah.
this is good. Like I forget that I'm in the main video, like the main part of the video. So oh yeah, absolutely. Love to see if they see things, and then they go back on your podcast thing. And if thank you for like you're saying we inspired you. That actually means a lot to us because you know that's what we're trying to go for. But you're right on the topic things. That's why we don't name our podcast after topics, even when we have podcasts without guests.
Mhm.
It's we want it to be a genuine conversation. So when someone comes in, we just talk. Like when people that we've had guests on before, they're like, "What do we want to talk about?" You never did. You were just like, "We're going to talk shit," and I'm like, "Yeah, we are."
We're just gonna
But
sit here and have some fun.
right. But other people are just like, "Do you have any questions ready for me? Is there anything like that?" And we're just like, "No, we're just gonna talk about how we met, talk about what you're doing, and then after that, it's wherever it goes." Um, and I feel like the people watching you engage more with that because they're getting lost in the conversation. Because you're right, if
Hmm.
someone's like, "Oh, now we're gonna start talking about Overwatch," they're like, "I just don't want to listen to someone talk about Overwatch right now. I'm gonna
It may
leave."
not be their
Uh,
forte or something that they
yeah,
play.
right. But when you're having just a genuine conversation, you keep them guessing about what's going to be coming up, what you're talking about, and it just flows. And I just think that's why we do it that format. And we haven't done a podcast in years, but we're bringing it back.
Would
We
like to
we
be
got
on the first episode back.
yeah. Well, we're trying to figure it all out. I know we got the name, so we got
Yep.
a new name for it. It's no longer called the Nova Circuit Podcast. It will be called the Circuit Board because it will be a
Oh,
group of people. So a board, almost like a board of directors type thing. So we're gonna call it the Circuit Board. Um,
if y'all's picture is not an actual circuit board with the name in there,
it's
I'll be
we're
upset.
working on it. We're working on the logo right now, but that's when we bring it back, which is this year. It's coming back. So that's the change, and we're actually going to restart for episode 1. So the Nova Circuit podcast, old podcast, are just going to be the Nova Circuit podcast. That's its own entity. The Circuit
Hmm.
Board will start off Circuit Board episode 1 podcast. So
Okay.
that's still in production. Of course, we got to reach out to guests, obviously, to see if we want to, and then of course, we're not going to have guests. We're just going to be us talking and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good time.
So, is
I
there
love podcasts. It's like my favorite content to film too.
whenever I'm at work, my dogs, my lord. So whenever I'm at work, I would listen to music and
Hmm.
stuff, but I noticed it being a little bit more distracting with, all the music in my ears. I can't hear much of anything. So, damn dogs. Anyways, so I noticed it being a little bit distracting. So I would, I was like, you know what? Let me try out podcasts. Let me try out a podcast. I listen to true crime all the time, and I don't know if anyone is into true crime, serial killers.
You're good. Oh no, we lost him. Oh no. Am I the one hosting now? Is it my
Uh,
show now?
I
Did
think
I
it's
just
your
take
show now.
over? Oh
I think we
no.
just it started over, but we were at 30 minutes, so I think we go another 30 minutes and we can go from there. And I'll see if I can chop and screw and get all this stuff uploaded again. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
that's
on
fine.
with it. I've never had an issue with this before.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll be like last time because I did a show with my buddy Will.
Mhm.
Um, by the way, check that episode out. It's Only Weebs Play Marvel Rivals. Check it out. Uh, so it stopped the video, like my video, but on my end, like, does it say 38 seconds on your end, or does it say 30
It
minutes?
says on my end. Where would I see this? I don't.
Well, for me, it's at the top
Mine
of the screen.
mine says 37 minutes 14 seconds right now, and it's still
Okay, so
climbing.
it should keep the whole footage because
Nice.
last time it did the same thing to me. So it should. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. You're gonna hear a slight little pause in the show, guys, but we're gonna keep the ball rolling. We're at 37 minutes. Let me know when we reach an hour because we're gonna do an
Yep.
hour and maybe an hour and a half podcast
Okay.
here today.
Yeah. Perfect.
So what I was gonna ask, I mean, what I was saying was, No, I was listening to true crime all the time, and I just noticed how quiet it was, like while they were talking, and I can also hear things on the other side. And I was like, okay, well, now that's all I do. I listen to podcasts while I work. Uh, Good Guys is also a good podcast. That's I don't know if you've heard of it. It has Josh Peck and some friend of his. Isn't that his name, Josh
Josh,
Peck?
Josh, what, the kid from Drake and Josh?
Yeah,
I don't know what his podcast is, but I think I know what you're talking about.
that's his podcast. It's Good Guys. And if you want a little bit of 2000 healing because of the drama with Josh and Drake, Drake was on his show
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
they
Yeah, I was like, weren't they
rekindled.
not friends? Okay, yeah, because I was like, weren't they like Eddie? They didn't like each other or respect each other.
They did not like each other, but they did a podcast together, two parts. And if you want to heal from, from all the drama that they had, listen to the podcast. It's very great. But what I was going to ask you before we had the little stupid stuff happen,
Glitch in the
is
Matrix.
there any projects in the work besides the podcast that you can tell us?
Well, obviously, you guys know our newest project, Shibuya Anime Tavern, which is our anime talk show,
Mm-hmm.
where you get to see your favorite members of Nova Circuit talk nothing but anime. Um, there's a couple things. Something I know an idea was brought that I think is a great idea. We just gotta come up with a catchy name for it, but a cosplay type thing. And
Ooh.
then this was a project for 2024 that we never got to, but I think it's a little bit more possible now. Is I mentioned earlier, we wanted to do a show like X Play,
Mm-hmm.
where you had your host and they talk about future games coming out. We play some of the games demos and review them. That's still a project that we're doing. Those are the two major things that are
Okay.
projects that I can mention and talk about. Um, Other things are background that we haven't greenlit yet. So until we green light them, I'm just there's no point in bringing them up. So just like small
Okay.
things. So
Uh, when will a little selfish question here, a little selfish question. You know
it's okay
me.
to be selfish. I mean, we're the
When
most unselfish two podcasters in the world, so it's okay to be a little bit selfish.
when is the Melty devouring Jason dabbing gonna be an emote?
Which one? The
The one
the 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 real life one that turned me into a crybaby. I was like, that's so me. I was like, you
I
better keep
mean,
that.
you could use that one if you'd like,
We
but
we we can turn it. The only reason it's probably not an emote now is because we are at our capacity right now on Twitch.
okay.
Because we literally have emotes sitting and waiting. Our artist who does our emotes, Ed, has a
Hmm.
couple more emotes we have because we were doing the Hello Kitty Island Adventure gameplay. We have like Bats Maru, one of the characters twerking. We have one of those sitting waiting. But yeah, no, the I could easily put that one up front because that's been around for a while. I could do the Melty one. I could even do the Melty Nova Circuit symbol as well. So,
I, I
yeah,
don't know.
whenever Twitch gives us more emote slots, so
Uh,
come on, Twitch, be
that'll
better.
be better,
Well,
Twitch. We're talking to you.
and we're trying to get YouTube to the point where we can add emotes on YouTube, and if we have to, because YouTube's kind of like we call them the Giga Chads, and we
Yeah.
call our Twitch chat Twitch Thoughts. So maybe we just give the Giga Chads on YouTube a different emotes, and we can have the melty ones over on YouTube and all that stuff. So just ideas, but yeah, we're capped out on our slots right now. I wish we had more
Okay.
because there's so
Uh,
many emo ideas we have and want to do. Um, we might remove some because we usually have a emote for each of our mods. Some of the users aren't mods anymore, so we might remove some of those. But the ones that we want to remove, so many people have kind of like grown attached to them.
yeah.
But eventually, we're just gonna remove them anyways and just keep them in the Discord. I could add them to our Discord for sure. Add them as stickers and emotes. That's easy. Just send me the ones you want, and we'll add them to it. I could get that done today, actually.
Okay. And I'll tell you guys, Jason here and the whole team at Nova Circuit, they have really been like the bestest friends I've had. When it came to the journey of, and I'll say it a bunch of times probably during this whole podcast, how much y'all have supported Melty and all of what happens with it. Um, they graced me to do an art piece for the one that he was talking about. An art piece of Melty, but with their symbol. They have their own logo for Nova Circuit, and it's an asteroid going, and it's really cool, really fun. and I meltified it. That's what we call it at the time. Is I meltified it, and it's just Melty as a comment. And thanks to Chat GPT, which you're gonna hear me talking a lot about that too.
Hmm.
I was able to create that model of Melty as the comet into an actual toy. It looks really fun,
All right,
and
cool.
one of these days we're going to be coming in contact with a 3D printer, and we're going to be making a Melty toy line. And I that's an announcement that I can give out today. Is we are working on a Melty toy line, and it's not for kids. It's not for kids. It's going to be for adults. 20s to early 40s. It's whatever figurines for you to collect, and for anyone that's into D&D, I have an announcement for you. So my D&D players, I drew Melty as a mimic chest, just because I'm a
That's my
big nerd.
favorite one. I mentioned that to you. I was like, that actually looked really cool. I was like, that's pretty badass. I was like, the mimic chest is pretty cool.
Took
I'm a
me a
D and
day
D
and a
guy,
half.
so oh yeah. So
Took me a
and then
day
an
and a half to
idea
draw
for the
up.
Nova Circuit one. Let's make it glow in the dark.
That would be sick.
I was like, that'd be cool if like Melty's glowing over whatever he's consuming. It's
That
just an
is pretty
idea and
cool.
a thought. So
But the Melty chest I turned into a toy on ChatGPT. And a buddy of mine that's on the podcast with me, his name is Colby, but his internet name is Darkwolf. He was like, "Why don't you turn that into a tower, a dice tower? The dice go in the keyhole and come out the tongue, and it's like a roller for D&D dice." So I'm looking for somebody with a 3D printer, and I'm going to be doing that. And I'm probably going to do like a giveaway on stream for the prototype and see how it works and go from there.
that'd be awesome.
It would
Absolutely
be
be awesome.
fantastic. Just
I'll
see it.
I'll buy the first one.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, no, I play D&D, so that's perfect for me.
And what I want to make it to like this big in width, this in length. So it's like a big tower that you could just have in the middle of your set. Like some people put maps and stuff down for their D&D campaigns. They have like figurines and stuff, and I want that to be in the center.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
No,
oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say no. I really enjoyed the Nova Circuit one you sent me. I was like, it'd be cool if it glows in the dark, or at least has
Mhm.
like lights in it. I don't know how that's a lot of work on a 3D printer to put lights and like do all that. But no, the Mimic one for sure. Especially if you turn that into somehow a literally a dice rolling thing. Oh my god, that's
Chef's kiss.
oh yeah, that'd be so cool. And I'd even show that off to my D&D group. Speaking of that, though, you did talk about projects. We do community events in our Discord.
Hmm.
We're doing a community D&D thing soon, so that'd be a really cool thing. Probably
And
to
see,
include as a sponsor for it.
I work for an old man. Okay,
Yeah.
he's in his I think 50s, 60s. I don't really know how old he is. But
Mhm.
he's a big D&D guy. And he
I
was
love it.
like, how hey, quit chewing on my desk, me and my table.
Grounded.
Damn. Grounded again. So he looked at my designs for Melty and the business as a whole, and he was like, you would thrive in the D&D community with this.
Yes.
And I was like, really? He's like, dude, yes, you can make him into anything. He could shapeshift. He could have his own powers,
I mean, that's what Melty is. He's a
and
shapeshifter. So.
he's a shapeshifter. And I was just like, man. And then me and the wife. And I know I'm talking a lot, but
Oh, talk, please. We're having a conversation. I'm invested, so I'm
so
listening.
the wife saw that I was using ChatGPT, and she was like, "You should, have Melty as a Studio Ghibli character. You know Studio Ghibli, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Like Kiki's
Great.
Delivery Service,
Mm-hmm.
Ponyo, all those amazing movies.
Yep.
Um, amazing. Uh, anyways, so I made him into a Studio Ghibli character, and it looked freaking fantastic. And I came up with an idea for if it was made into a movie, and it's perfect. It's down the line of Studio Ghibli films, you know. So this girl is in the forest. She's walking around playing, but she comes across this hut of a grumpy old Melty, and he's grumpy because he is the way he is. Like he's a shape shifting. He anything that he touches, he devours. Anything that he touches, he can morph into. He hates himself. And well, she's like, "Well, you haven't always been like this, right?" And he's like, "No, a witch turned me into this." And she ran away. I can't find her. So they go on this mystic adventure, going through like towns and cities and all these awesome adventures. He shows his powers, but he's a grumpy old dick to this girl, but he has a soft
Hell yeah.
spot for her. And they finally find the witch, they fight, and then obviously there's a choice at the end where he wants to be turned into back to human or stay the way he is. And I think that would be great for Studio Ghibli. So if you are listening, directors of Studio Ghibli, me and my wife want to see this movie, and
Make it a
I'm
comic
making
and
it.
show them like a concept.
I could do that. I could do that. Thanks to Chat GPT. Which at
You
this
could.
point, if I'm going to be using Chat GPT the way I've been, and if it's like going to be a focal point of my business, I need to be sponsored by Chat GPT, man. Like, I'm about tired at this point. Uh, what's the timer at on your end, buddy?
Like I said, I only use ChatGPT for work, so
Hey, out from underneath my desk, please. Grounded again. We may have to
all of
do.
them. Ground all of them. Oh, where'd you go? Nova Circa has taken over the stream again. Oh, we're back.
We're back again.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
we
What?
tried.
What's the timer at on your end?
Uh, what time on 49 minutes for 19 seconds.
Okay, man. This is.
I
We
think you're
might
about to
have
drop
to.
again too.
Yeah, we might
I
have
think
to
it's
do
about
a
to
part
happen.
two. Uh, when are you free again?
I think you're about to drop again because you're starting to break up.
Oh no, not like
Will
this.
Nova Circuit take over it again? Oh, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, welcome. We have
Oh
taken
God,
over.
guys,
We talk about
we're
Melty
having bad
taking over,
internet
but
trouble.
we have taken over. Yes. Oh, you noticed my
Oh, not
Pokemon
today.
cards.
Not like
Absolutely. Oh,
this.
there's Magic the Gathering in here too. Don't get me wrong. It's all here. The takeover. It's happening.
Join. All
Oh, you're
right,
back. Oh,
we're back
not taking
yet
over
again.
anymore.
Hey, when are you free again?
uh, I know next week for sure.
Next week? All right, so we could do part two to this. Uh, you know,
Absolutely.
cut the cord for now, and we can always come back. Because it is 1:30 in the afternoon. My kids are getting very restless in their room, so I think that this is a good focal point on where we can stop. So, uh, before we get booted out again, Nova, Jason, give us some final announcements about your Twitch and stuff like that. Tell the viewers where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, X, all the popular socials. On Twitch, we're Nova_Circuit. On YouTube, we're at Nova Circuit, one word. You can find us on Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever Elon calls it these days, and Instagram. We stream live Monday through Friday. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we do have the After Dark streams. You get a double feature. You get me in the mornings and Mags on the After Dark streams. And we do stream on the weekends. Tonight, Jeff will be streaming. I don't know what Jeff will be streaming. Jeff is a mystery at times. But he'll be streaming. And yeah, you can just tune in on YouTube or Twitch. Like I said, we're live Monday through Friday. You'll see me if you want to see me. I stream from 9:30 a.m. to about noon. Next week we are playing multiplayer games with chat. So if you want to come in and join, I think we're gonna do Call of Duty, Paladins, maybe some Stranova, which is a new game that I've been trying to play. But the week after, we're starting Gen 2. We played through all the Pokemon Blue version. We're starting Gen 2 and playing Crystal version starting not this week, but the week after. So, yeah, tune in, come
Awesome.
in, hang out with us, join our Discord. All the cool kids are there. Yeah, like I said,
And
all the cool kids are doing it.
we want to thank you for showing up for the show today. Sorry about all the technical issues that we've been going through. Maybe next time will be better.
Yeah, sorry for being late.
No, you're
I
fine,
was
man. You're
I was
fine.
grilling.
Uh,
Yeah, I was
so
like,
at
oh,
the
I
end
gotta
of
finish my
every
food.
at the end of every podcast, we have the guests or all of us as a whole give Melty's final thought. It's just it's going to be a staple on the show. So, what would be Melty's final thought to you before we end the show?
Oh, like if he was watching this show?
Yes.
Melty would literally be looking me in the face right now, going, "God damn, I want to devour you more than your wife." And I don't blame you, Melty. Look at me. I mean, come on.
I
Melty's probably
believe
lost in the gaze of Keanu. So
more than likely I am. I know I
no,
am.
it's uh yeah. So absolutely, I think Melty enjoyed this, and I think I mean Melty's already been a fan of Nova Circuit, so
For a long
I can't
time.
wait to be devoured more. Yeah, absolutely. Actually speaking to Melty face to face, Melty, if you're looking at me, I need a new logo so we can post it on our About You tab on our Twitch. So yeah, I need a freshened up away from the controller one that you sent me. Send me a new one so I can update the panel on our Twitch.
Alrighty, I
So
will.
I'll update that today. Just give me information, Melty, and I'll have that up there so we can have that.
My
So
Melty's
yeah.
final
But
thought
other than that,
is
that's all I got. Yeah.
oh sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
My Melty's final thought is always remember support your friends, support your streamers, and always what was the tagline for Melty? I done forgot. Oh, why eat when you can devour? Jason, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I will see
Absolutely.
you when you stream, guys. Check out the shop, guys.
Yeah.
It's in my link tree. Check out my Twitch, Senpai's TV. Check out Nova Circuit on Twitch. Check out their YouTube. And if you like this podcast, give us 5 stars, or Melty will find you in your house. All right, with
Yeah.
that,
You like the podcast, don't lie.
I do. All right, Jason, we'll see you later.
I do too. Yep. Have a good one, man. Thank you.